Are we seriously back to direct flash again? The full-on 90s paparazzi in-your-face vibe? You bet your sweet parabolic softbox we are.
Like summer in Ibiza, tastes like honey when I see ya. I can't help it, I'm obsessing. Oh my God, I wanna feel ya. Watermelon, sugar sweet, now we're sitting on the beach. I can't help it, I'm obsessing. Oh my God, I wanna feel you right.
So this right here, this is the Godox iT30Pro. What does the IT stand for? I have no idea. But that's not what's important. What's important is that this is a little pocketable mini flash that's packed with features. It's got TTL, a full color touchscreen. You can use it as a wireless trigger for your Godox flashes or as a receiver. It has high-speed sync up to 1/8000 of a second, front and rear curtain sync, multi-mode. It's even got a built-in diffuser you can use by just flipping this little switch on the side. And of course, it's got a built-in battery you can charge with USB-C. I love that. I love that everything is going USB-C now, so one cable fits them all. So yeah, this little flash pretty much has all the modern features you'd expect from a full-size one. The only thing is you can't move the direction of the flash head. So when Vitopal, a Godox reseller, reached out and asked if I'd like to do a review video on the iT30Pro, I was definitely excited to give it a go. Now, they did send this flash for me to keep, but they aren't paying me anything. I told the rep that I value honesty in my reviews and they agreed, so all thoughts are genuine and my own. They are not vetting this video before it goes live. With that being said, affiliate links are in the description below. So I figured the only real way to test out this flash was to actually use it. And what better way than with a real shoot? I hit up Sunika, an amazing local model, and asked if she'd be down to help me put this little guy through its paces. She said yes, and we headed out to a park. It was me, Sunika, and her fiance Anoop, who by the way filmed all the behind the scenes for this video. Huge thanks to him.
So it's your first time in Queen's Park, Savannah?
It's great, amazing.
We had the camera, the flash, and some beautiful evening light. I shot using the already cult classic Nikon ZF paired with the Nikon 40mm f2 SE. And I shot both manual and TTL to be able to give a decent review, and here are my findings. First off, let's talk about power. Honestly, I didn't think this would stand a chance against the evening sun, but it actually held up surprisingly well. Now let's be real, it's not going to overpower the evening sun, but definitely pulled its weight as a fill, softening shadows, and even worked as a key light when we moved into the shaded areas. I tested it in a few different setups, including some backlit shots, and every time it just added that little bit of light back into Sunika's face. For a flash this small and this light, the output is seriously impressive. The spec sheet claims around GN15, and after shooting with it, yeah, I'd say that's pretty spot on. If you were to be using this solely indoors for events and those fun dance floor shot or drag photos, power definitely won't be an issue. Shooting outdoors with this little flash, I kinda knew I'd have to be cranking it, so in manual I was living at full power. Sometimes half, every now and then I'd sneak it down to a quarter, and for close-up shots, yeah, all the way down to 1/64th power. This thing went from beast mode to subtle fill pretty easily. The TTL side of this flash performed really well. Not only was it pretty spot on in figuring out the power I needed, but it was also consistent across the entire shoot. I don't usually shoot TTL, mainly because I'm a bit of a control freak when it comes to lighting. I like dialing in every little detail myself just to get the shots exactly how I want it. But honestly, I wasn't mad at it. The exposures were so close to what I'd have set manually, it almost felt like the flash was reading my mind. It gave me that balance of speed and accuracy, and I really didn't feel like I was sacrificing control by letting TTL do its thing. Alright, let's talk about the built-in diffuser. At first I was pretty skeptical because, let's be honest, a tiny light source usually is impossible to diffuse in any meaningful way. The switch goes from W to N, which I'm guessing is wide and narrow, with W being the diffuser on. And yeah, it's subtle, but it actually does soften things up a bit. Most of the shoot I left it on W just because I liked that little extra softness it gave the light. Of course, you do lose about a stop of power when it's on, so that's something to keep in mind. But honestly, I didn't mind trading a little power for slightly softer light. Now here's where this little flash really shines. The fact that you can use it off camera. And that's honestly pretty cool. Just throw a trigger on your camera, hold the flash up and off to the side, and suddenly you've got this nice subtle directional light to fill in shadows. I don't actually have any b-roll of me using it like this, so here's me awkwardly posing to show you what I mean. It works with the new Godox X3 touchscreen trigger, but I was using my good old trusty X Pro. Quick side note, these X Pro triggers are absolute tanks. This is the OG X Pro, not even the version 2, and I've had it for maybe 5 years now. I've got 2 of them, and between weddings, travel, and me dropping them more times than I'd like to admit, they just won't die. I keep waiting for them to give out the upgrade to the X3, but no, it's still going strong. Speaking of the X3 and touchscreens, let's talk about the one on the iT30Pro. When Godox first dropped the V100 with a touchscreen, I'd be honest, I was a little skeptical. I figured my clumsy self would be bumping into it non-stop, changing settings without even realizing. But after a couple of shoots, once I got used to locking the screen, I was sold. The iT30Pro's touchscreen is the same deal. It's just so much quicker to change settings on a touchscreen, especially when it's this responsive. No lag, no weird delay, it just works. And honestly, I was kind of surprised by how snappy it feels. It's right up there with the V100's screen. The only difference is it's not quite as bright, but even outdoors, the brightness really wasn't an issue. So yeah, no rage tapping the screen like you would with a cheap phone. If the touchscreen isn't for you, I like that Godox added a little wheel or dial or whatever you want to call it to the top of the flash, so you can use that to adjust your settings as well. Alright, so I've been praising this little flash like crazy up to this point, but let's shift gears for a second. Not to bash it, because honestly it's been really solid. But there are 2 things worth mentioning. The first is that I did manage to get it to overheat on me. Now to be fair, it was a hot day, like 33 degrees Celsius hot. About 45 minutes into shooting, I started noticing the recycle time slowing down, and then the hot indicator popped up. But in all fairness to this flash, I was really putting it through the ringer. Full power, burst after burst, non-stop. And when you're working with a pro like Sonika, who's just effortlessly hitting pose after pose, you don't want to miss a single frame. So yeah, I was kind of asking for it. Giving it a break for like 10 minutes did the trick though, and was good to go after that again. And come forward. And yeah. The second little negative is that there's also the issue of longer lenses casting a shadow when using this flash. I didn't personally run into it with any of my setups. I tested it with the Nikon 40mm f2 SE, the 50mm 1.8S, and even the Sigma R35 1.4 adapted with the Nikon FTZ, which makes it pretty long. No problems there though. But if you do run into that shadow, there's an easy fix. Godox sells hot shoe risers for around $14 to $19 depending on your camera brand. Basically, it's like a little step stool for your flash. Alright, so who do I think this flash is really for? Let's start with wedding photographers. I can definitely see this being a handy little tool for things like detail shots and flat lays. You know, rings, invitations, that kind of stuff. And of course, those crazy slow shutter party shots on the dance floor. This would be perfect. It's small enough to toss in your bag and forget about until you need it. And then it's right there, ready to go. Next is street photographers. This thing was basically made for you. It's compact, lightweight, and doesn't scream professional flash setup. You can throw it in your pocket, pull it out when you need to fill some shadows, and you're good to go. It gives you that little pop of light without drawing a ton of attention. This is huge for candid street work. And for portrait photographers, honestly, I think this could be a really fun creative tool. You can use it to fill in shadows when you're shooting outdoors, or lean into that trendy direct flash look, the kind of hard light portraits you see all over fashion editorials right now. It's not going to replace your big Godox strobes, but as a little sidekick, it adds a lot of versatility. So yeah, whether you're shooting weddings, out on the street, or doing portraits, the IT30 Pro is kind of like a tiny piece of gear that quietly sneaks its way into your workflow. You don't realize how much you'll actually use it until you've got it with you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my thoughts on the Godox iT30 Pro. If you're thinking about picking up one of these, I hope this video helped in making your decision. Remember, affiliate links are in the description below, and it really helps with making me feel like an influencer. Yeah. Like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts on the iT30 Pro in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Also, I need to remember to always shoot B-roll before I shoot with the product, because kind of scripted on the shoot. Yeah.